should be. We need to shine the numbers speak.
Higher cost rise, profit still sits. Invest or doubt, the line is thick. Where the risk admissions was begin.
Welcome to our live performance. Simulator 500 million question. In this speech, you guys as our investor, or we call you sharks, will decide whether to invest or walk away. Introduce our team, me as the first analyst, Mama.
Me, Safarida.
And me, Alismanta.
So, in front of us we have three investors. The first investor is Dato' Adla. Second investor is Datin Akila. And our beloved billionaire, which is Tan Sri Dr. Jaya.
Good morning, sharks. Imagine this, it's 2020. Duxland has just spent the sale on the ICE petrol car, internal combustion engine vehicles. The world is racing electric, and only one company is positioned to lead that charge.
So here's the question we wanted to ask you today. Is it a company simulator or is it just a heading for a costly crash?
Today, we are not just presenting the numbers, we are putting simulator on trials, and you, the audience, are the investment committee. By the end of this stage, you will decide whether to invest 500 million or what.
Let's begin. First, me. Okay, sharks, let me start with the fundamental first. Simulator isn't just another car manufacturer that's chasing EV trends. They go all in on battery electric vehicle in 2020. They go all in on battery electric vehicle in 2020. Because of Duxland ban on ICE vehicle on 2030. That's bold, that's decisive, but based on the numbers that I'm about to show you, that's brilliant. So let's talk about profitability first. And I want you to focus on one metric first, net profit margin. Let's look. Simulator's net profit margin in year 2024 is 3.8%. Brilliant, but not respectable. But entering year 2025, the net profit margin from 3.8%, they spike up to 8.1%. They more than double their net profit margin in just 12 months. You might think that's impressive, but is it sustainable? Is it just a one-off? Let me put that concern to rest. So let's compare net profit. Let's compare simulator with its main competitor, Atom. Both of the company only sell BEV. Both company operate in Duxland, and both company compete for the same customer. So this is a pure apple-to-apple comparison. So let's look one by one. On the profitability ratio, simulator gross profit margin 24.3, and Atom profit margin, gross profit margin 22.9. Simulator wins. Operating margin, simulator have operating margin of 40.7, while Atom has operating profit margin of 12.2. Simulator wins game. And next, based on what I talked earlier, simulator net profit margin is 8.1%, while Atom is 5.7%. Simulator wins decisively. But profit margin is just a piece of puzzle. What about return to shareholder? Let's look at continuous profitability ratio. We have return on capital employed. Let's look at simulator ROCE on 2025. It's 11.5%, while Atom 8.7%. This means that for every $1 of capital employed, simulator generates 11.5 cents, while Atom just 8.7 cents. Next, ROE. This shows us how effectively simulator or a company generates profit based on the shareholder equity. First, simulator ROE is 10.8, while Atom ROE is 7.6. means that simulator generate 10.8% profit of every $1 of equity, while Atom generate 7.2 cents of profit for every $1. Next, we have return on asset. Simulator have return on asset of 5.9%, while Atom have return on asset 3.9%. This means that simulator able to generate 5.9 cents of profit for every $1 of asset. Simulator just 3.9 cents. Simulator isn't just growing profitability. It's extracting every profit available for every machine, every factory, and every dollar invest. That's operational excellence in action. Now you might be thinking, how can they achieve this per year margins? Is it accounting magic? Is it cost cutting? No, it's strategy. And it comes down to 3 words: focus, integration, training. Let's go. For the first is, how can they achieve this margin? Because of the focus. Unlike other car manufacturer, simulator go all in on 2020 to internally phase out all of its internal combustion engine vehicle and go all in on battery vehicle. Because of this focus, they are able to concentrate more on R&D spending, optimize their manufacturing process, and also build brand identity as a sustainable mobility company. Next, integration. This is where simulator differentiates itself. Let's look at the simulator global operation maps. Simulator have 6 factory operates at different locations. At each end, they produce battery for the entire vehicle range. At far end, they produce electric motor. They control two of the most critical components in electric vehicles. Why does this matter? 3 reasons. One is cost control. They are not at the mercy of external suppliers. They can restrict supply or raise the price. They manage their own production. Second, innovation speed. When simulator R&D team have designed new things such as battery chemistry, they can implement it directly in wherever factory that they operate. No transfer technology delay, no lengthy supplier negotiation. And the third one, and the third reason is quality assurance. All of the battery and motor that they produce meet exact specification of simulator policy. So that's why simulator can highly offer an 8-year, 160,000 km warranty that cover battery degradation if range decreased by 20% or more. And the third is timing. Because they know that Tesla ban all of the petrol car in 2030, they already not sell ICE vehicle in 2020. That's risky, yes, but because of the timing, that's also brilliant position. They spent 8 years. They first launched their EV car in 2012. They spent 8 years building expertise, refining technology, and establish customer base. Okay, now you might be wondering, impressive margin, great returns, but what about financial stability? Is it sustainable? Is it over leveraged? Can they weather the downturn? Fair question. Let's look at balance sheet. Let's look at balance sheet. Okay. Is it over leveraged? Let's look at the solvency ratio. That I am about to focus is first debt to equity ratio. DE, debt to equity ratio. Simulator, debt to equity ratio is, if you calculate, you will get debt to equity. simulator debt to equity. Debt to equity ratio of simulator is 10.2%, while simulator debt to equity ratio is 0.7, while atom debt to equity is 0.75. This means that for every one equity of simulator, it is they have $1. It means that for every $1 of equity, simulator has 0.7 debt, while atom has 0.75. That's moderate average. That's moderate average, but it is better than atom. Next is debt ratio. Debt ratio simulator have 45.3%, while atom have 46.4%. This means that simulator 45.3% of asset in simulator is financed by debt, while atom 46.4% asset is financed by debt. Both of this company marginally maintain moderate leverage, but simulator is marginally more conservative. Next, time interest earned. Time interest earned, simulator is 3.55 times, while atom is 2.55. Apologies, is 3.5. This means that simulator earn 3.5 times more than what they need to pay their interest payment, while atom just 2.55. So if interest rate rise, simulator or if temporary get a temporary, if profitability get a temporary hit, simulator will have a larger safety buffer. So based on all of this, if you want to find a company that is executing flawlessly, improving drastically, simulator isn't just a good option. It's an obvious one, but I think my colleague Safa has a very different perspective of mine. Safa, you reviewing the same data as mine. What you see and I'm missing? What keeps you at night about this investment?
Okay, thank you, Amma. You have painted a compelling picture, and I will admit the profitability trends are very impressive. But sharp, in investing, what can go wrong with the more than what going right? So let's talk about liquidity. We have two liquidity here, which is current ratio and quick ratio. Yes, we can see the current ratio in this year is look healthy, which is 3.24 times. But look at the trend, it's falling from 3.62 last year. It also same as a quick ratio, which is still the trend is falling, which is this year is just 1.84 times. It's still adequate, but also it's still declining. So why does this all happen? Okay, because growth are very expensive, the inventory trend jumped to 12.8%. The demand will slightly slow, and the inventory will not be asset, it will become the liability. Okay. Here's my biggest concept, which is concentration. Okay, we can see that all of the fail to face the replacement cost of $20,000, so the resale value may drop. And if the resale value drop, the car is demonstrated. Next, we will move to property, plant and equipment. Okay, Shah, look at this number. $27.5 million in property, plant and equipment. Each of it configured as a single model. Yes, hardly automated, hardly efficient, but also hardly inflexible. Okay, next, let me talk about economy. EV car is still a premium purchases. The stage, I'm sure, in the stage of people, many of them still can't afford to buy the EV car. Okay, let's see. If the interest rate rise, if the unemployment takes up, or if the consumer prefer wave, the demand of $40,000 if the first ones to fall. So next, we talk about the simulator beta. We have 0.53 simulator, 0.56 simulator. It's still yes, it's still good, but it doesn't make it immune. It just make it just more slowly go to. So Shah, I advise you, before you write down the check of $500 million, please think once whether you are comfortable to work with a company who their strength is also vulnerability, or who's the depends on the perfect execution in an imperfect world. So ask yourself. So Anis, could you help us to find the balance? What's the word?
Thank you, Boo. Amar showed us the upsides while Safa highlighted the risks. Now, let's simplify. Because in strategic finance, the answer is very yes or no. It is yes if. Now, let's put simulator side by side with atoms, not just on profitability, but on the full financial health scorecard. First, real quick, at profitability, we can clearly see that simulator is really stronger than atoms. The first is net margins. Simulator is 8.1% compared to atoms 5.7%. This means simulator keeps more profit for every dollar of sales, indicating better cost control compared to atoms. Second is ROCE, 11.5%, higher than atoms at 8.7%. This indicates that simulator using its capital more efficiently to generate its returns. Next, in terms of financial structure, debt to equity, simulator is 0.7 compared to atoms at 0.75. This indicates that simulator rely less on borrowing, so it has lower financial risk. And interest coverage, simulator 3.5 times compared to atoms at 2.55 times. This indicates that simulator can comfortably pay its interest, which indicates financial sustainability. And however, when we look at liquidity, we can see that atom is slightly stronger. With current ratio 3.58 times compared to simulator 3.24 times. This indicates that atom has more short-term assets to cover its short-term liabilities, which is a safer position for day-to-day operations. And for the future investments, atom spend more at 3.1 billion for research and development compared to simulator 2.5 billion. This suggests that atoms may have stronger focus on innovations, which is can give them advantage for technology future developments. So overall, we can say that simulator strength lies on profitability, efficiency, and lower financial risk, but weakness likely in liquidity and future innovations. Now, I will put everything together to evaluate whether simulator financial performance is supported by its strategies and whether it is worth to investing in. This is three strategic pillars of simulator. The first one is BED only focus, means simulator would focus entirely on electrical vehicles. From financial perspective, it reflects its higher gross margins of 34.3%. So this strategy show that the simulator has better cost efficiency and can improve their profitability. With this strategy also, simulator can reduce their unnecessary costs and help them to manage their cash flow. So this explains why simulator perform better in terms of margins compared to atoms. Second is vertical integration. Simulator produce its own battery and key components instead of fully relying on the external supplier. For financial perspective, it can reflect on its stronger operating margins of 40.7%. This shows that simulator has better cost control compared to atoms. However, this strategy also creates concentration risk where if there are any disruptions on productions, it can affect directly on its productions and revenue. So, while this strategy improves simulator efficiency, it also creates or increases simulator operational risk. And the third one is prudent financial management. For financial evidence, we can look at debt to equity and interest coverage. Debt to equity simulator is lower at 0.7 and interest coverage higher at 3.5 times. This indicates that simulator rely less on borrowings and it's capable to meet their interest obligations. So compared to atoms, simulator has better and stable financial, and it has this strategy is better than atoms. With this strategy, I recommend you guys to investing in, but with conditions. The first condition is supply chain diversification. Like we know, simulator only currently depend on single battery production source. This creates concentration risk where any disruptions or shutdowns in operation could affect its directly revenue and operations. So, simulator needs to diversify its supply chain or invest more in several production facilities to reduce the risk and improve profit stability. Second is liquidity control. We can see that simulator current ratio is lower compared to atoms. This indicates that short-term financial obligations may become a concern. So, simulator needs to manage their the current working management, particularly in inventory control, to ensure they have enough sufficient cash flow and reduce the risk of short-term financial pressure. And the last one is R&D investments. Like Amar and Safa said earlier, simulator spend less on R&D compared to atoms. This indicates that it may affect simulator positions in future EV markets. To support its long-term growth, simulators needs to involve more in investing better technology and future innovations to ensure and support its long-term growth and strengthens its competitive positions in the future.
Sharks, we have shown you the numbers, the momentum, and the strategic position.
We also be honest about the risk and the vulnerability.
By shaking of our hands, who would like to invest 500 million or walk away?
Would you like to invest?
I can see you invest. Nice, you make a good decision.